Can you believe it's just over 4 months since the London Olympic and Paralympic Games played out so spectacularly on the world stage? It seemed like everyone on these aisles had an extra spring in their step, forgot their worries, smiled at one another and felt a bit more hopeful about life. I wonder what your hopes are for the new year. Well, in today's Songs of Praise we meet some inspiring people who may give you reason to be hopeful in 2013. Shauna Mwamba hoped thousands of football fans would pray for a miracle. Johnny Dawson-Ellis suffered tragic consequences after a motorbike accident but decided to choose hope over despair, singing our hymns with their hopeful messages. We've gathered choirs from across the Northwest, joined by the Radio 2 Young Choristers of the Year. The renowned architect behind the cenotaph, Englishman Edwin Lutyens, certainly had hopeful aspirations when he built his crypt in Liverpool in the 1930s. It was intended to form part of the largest cathedral in the world, but the Second World War forced the abandonment of the huge building above. That wasn't the end of hope or the project, and today's shining example, designed by Sir Frederick Gibbard, sits proudly on the Liverpool skyline. Our first hymn, like all our hymns today, reflects that amazing quality human beings can hold on to even when the going gets tough. Hope.
Morning has broken like the first morning. Blackbird has spoken like the first bird. Praise for the singing, praise for the morning, praise for them springing fresh from the world. Sweet the rain's noble, sunlit from heaven, like the first dew on the first grass. Praise for the sweetness of the west garden, sprung in completeness, where his feet pass. Mine is the sunrise, mine is the morning.
When Bolton Wanderers footballer Fabrice Mwamba suffered a catastrophic cardiac arrest during a match last March, thousands of shocked fans feared the worst. But one person never gave up hope, his wife Shauna. Take me back to the day Fabrice collapsed. What were you doing?
Sat right here, watching on the telly. There was no one around him. No one pushed him, or it wasn't a bad tackle. He literally just fell. I knew it was serious just based on the reactions, the silence and the chanting of his name from both sides. I knew it was serious. They had no idea if he was alive or dead either.
What did the doctors tell you in the hospital?
They told me that if I was lucky, Fabrice would be severely brain damaged. But based on the time he didn't get oxygen, he would probably be in a vegetative state. So basically just a shell existing on life support.
How did you feel about that?
I felt grateful that he was alive, so it was something to work with.
You used social media when it happened, didn't you?
I think my first tweet was God is in control. That's how I felt in that moment. That's why I said that kind of thing. I'm glad I did that now, you know, because that helped me, you know, that's God was in control, and that gave me my strength, knowing that something way bigger than me was watching over fam. Sometimes in moments like that, you kind of think, oh my God, it's hopeless. Why me? Why? And for me, it wasn't a case of why me or woe is me. It's kind of thank you, God, for keeping him alive.
Do you think prayer made a difference?
I totally believe that prayer made a difference. Not only me praying for him as his partner, but the way the world collectively prayed for him. It's like the nation took us into their homes and into their hearts, and they really didn't have to. In that moment, it didn't matter who we were or where we came from or anything like that. It was just a collective moment where everybody just prayed for us. If it wasn't for people out there praying for him, caring about him, collectively, I don't think maybe he wouldn't have pulled through the way he did, you know.
Messages of support poured in from across the world, and Fabrice left hospital just a month later after making a miraculous recovery. How difficult was it for you to remain hopeful?
You know, where there's life, there is hope. And I think you always have to have faith, you know. They say faith can move mountains as well. And I think, like, I prayed for God to keep Fabrice alive. He did that for me. He made sure he woke up. He made sure he's fine. Besides a bit of short-term memory loss, Fabrice is fine. So I got more than I prayed for.
Normally the only singing you associate with a football club is the chanting coming from the terraces. Manchester United, one of the most famous football clubs in the world, is getting noticed by local teenagers for something other than football. It's foundation choir. But this choir, made up of a real mix of voices and backgrounds, is putting hope and faith back into young lives.
I guess because music and sports are so different, it's nice to be able to actually get a different group of people. For instance, we have quite a large group of lads that come. And I think in most choirs, you know, it's quite hard to get a lot of guys to join because it's not a cool thing really, you know, it's not something that most guys can go to school, oh yeah, I'm in a choir. But when it is part of one of the best football teams in the world, I mean, to be able to say that you're in a choir for Manchester United, it does reach out to a lot more people.
It's actually really amazing to be here and singing because like it's always been a dream of mine, and like just to fulfill that dream is just really amazing actually.
A lot of people would be out doing things probably they shouldn't. A lot of people spend time in parks and things like that. And I know the choir gives children the opportunity to come here and socialise, meet new people, make really good bonds with people, and it gets them off the streets and gives them something to do.
At times I do feel like there's someone guiding me there, like God, like because I'm a Christian and I pray to God. So yeah, I think there is a guiding angel there for me.
The choir supported me at a time of my life when I was losing a lot of hope in everything. I was going downhill with college. I left home. I was getting quite depressed. The choir has brought me through and helped me, and now I'm studying music at university, and that probably wouldn't have been achievable without the choir support.
It's exactly the same as being a footballer or being a sports person. Do you know, it's about working in a team, and it's about turning up, working hard.
I'm bulletproof, nothing to lose, far away, far away.
Not all choirs do sing things in the charts, and you wouldn't really expect it, but it's all songs that are uplifting, songs that feel good, and songs that are relevant today and that everybody enjoys singing as well. And then at the end of it, when we've worked hard, we actually get to do these absolutely amazing things which really are worth all the hard work.